Greetings from EduSutra. Generally, people think that only grave physical offenses, molestation or sexual abuse are child abuse, whereas physical punishments, gender discrimination, and abrupt psychological treatments are considered normal ways and rights of parents for disciplining children in our society. Let us understand the damage we do to a child. Scolding, yelling, bullying, spanking, abusing, beating, hitting, and other forms of physical and corporal punishments that may cause injury, bruises, burns, etc. are forms of physical abuse. So next time you hit a child, beware of the trauma it will cause to him or her. Second is a psychological abuse that involves emotional exploitation, threats, pressure to conform or to yield desired results, neglect, depriving children of their rights, restricting their freedom using derogatory comments, gender discrimination, humiliation, etc. And the third is sexual abuse that causes much agony. Sexual comments showing porno material, forced physical contact are forms of sexual abuse. Studies say that 50% sexual offenders were known to the family of victim. Boys are equally prey to sexual abuse, and child labor is also a blot on our society. Honestly speaking, all types of abuses are forms of violence that breeds violence in children and perpetually cause wounds which impedes the healthy development of kids. Self-isolation, lack of self-esteem, guilt, fear, insecurity, aggression, hatred, emotional imbalance, rebellious attitude, poor communication and interpersonal skills, insomnia, dementia, depression, cognitive impairment, disrupted neurodevelopment, withdrawal from school activities and poor performance, trying to harm oneself, using drugs, juvenile crimes, dissociate identity disorder, tendency to commit suicide, schizophrenia, Stockholm syndrome are the consequences of child abuse. Each word that I just spoke is a story of wounds and vows that a child suffers. Each word is a journey that speaks of child's suffering somewhere in the world and conveys how insane and dangerous a species we are. So could we please evaluate how often we are abusing our kids? Can we develop the capacity to listen to the silent cries of a child and see what is haunting them if their actions are inappropriate? Can we be aware of the ripple effect of child abuse that horrifies the whole world? Can we examine the beauty of our roles in the life of a child and be an inspiration than a scar? So, laws should be strict to punish the guilty. Victims should be encouraged and supported to raise their voice. Personal safety education and self-defense programs should be made mandatory in schools. Various systems and technology to be used to ensure child safety. More helpline numbers to be issued. POSH and POXO laws and Child Labor Act to be executed firmly. Can we explore the right approaches to raise kids, instead applying orthodox ways blindly. Children raised with love, care, freedom, and right relationship develop emotional equanimity and capacity to manage crisis within and without. Space to listen, confide, confess, and explore builds trust in children to express their worries openly. We need to question our gender-biased parenting also. Are adults deeply rooted in good values and perform karma with great conscience? Child watches the contradictions in your words and deeds, hypocrisy in your behavior and living, and conflict in your relationships. Can you teach them something that you have not learned for yourself? So why don't we work on ourselves first and put love, sex, desire, success, pleasure, and relationship at its right place? Do parents try to understand various nuances of child psychology? Parents must educate themselves about various child abuse, its impact, and ways to prevent. Be watchful about the crisis your child goes through, his or her exposure, associations, premature conversations, cyber and social media indulgences that might be harmful. Kids should be made aware about child abuses and the appropriate action to be taken in time to protect themselves. They must be educated to speak up their emotions, fear, worries, questions without any shame and guilt. Do we realize that we are socially responsible for providing safe, secured, and happy childhood? Just because it's not happening to me doesn't mean it's not my problem. Adults must protect kids if they observe people taking advantage of young ones. Don't forget that you are the world to your child if he or she has gone through an abuse. Your unconditional love and desired support help your child to revive and regain emotional strength faster. It's not the time that removes scars, rather love that heals the wound faster. Is there a deeper agony for the mankind and the suffering and silent cries of a child? Is there any disability severe than crippling the psychological development of a child? Is there a major disaster on earth than harming and paralyzing our future generations? Is there a more sacred religious duty than being compassionate and humane to all lives? Is there any other greater support than healing an innocent life and recreating conditions to flower? Is there a bigger social and political responsibility than to provide safe, healthy, free, and caring childhood? No knowledge, success, glory, and development is powerful unless human consciousness is transformed. No love is profound on this earth than touching the life of innocent children. And no revolution is intense than killing the monster within us. No crime is as big as child abuse on this earth. Thank you. You can share your ideas and responses on my mail ID.